Most couples think that intimacy ends when the touching stops. But if you think about that from a biological and an emotional standpoint, that's actually when the most important part begins. And I'll explain why on the other side. Hi, I'm Scott Shortley, and I'm the founder of Coelle, a guided audio intimacy app for couples. And so for today's conversation, where I really want to focus our time and attention is on this topic of aftercare. Because what you do after intimacy really matters. In fact, we spend a lot of our time focusing on the before part, right? We focus on the intimacy. So we're trying to learn new positions, new techniques, new toys, etc. And we often neglect one of the most important parts, which is aftercare. So why is this so important? Well, it's important for a number of different reasons, but if you want to focus on it from a biological standpoint, when you're in an intimate moment, if you think about things like oxytocin, dopamine, endorphins, those things are activated and they're fully going and engaged during that moment. And then if you bring them to an abrupt end, what's going to happen is you're going to immediately fall back into more of your primitive state. You're going to be seeking safety. You're going to maybe even have some distancing that happens. And so the more you can do on your end, you and your partner, to kind of create a soft landing, and by doing aftercare, you can accomplish this. You can kind of ease into that rather than creating that sort of abrupt hard stop. And so that's really what I want to stress on today for this conversation, is making sure you don't neglect aftercare, because it really matters to, again, just build that bond and that level of connectedness that you and your partner have. So yes, have a great intimacy moment, but take from this, also have a great aftercare moment, again, to create that soft landing. So let's talk about this in more detail. So the sad reality is when aftercare is neglected, often what happens is you get these racing thoughts. So you think, well, did I do something wrong? Why are they so distant? Hey, we just had this great moment. We were connected and intimate. What's happening? And so again, because you're creating that sort of hard landing, it's just that abrupt end, it creates these misfires in our brain that allow us in that point, either out of insecurity, out of sort of protectiveness, we want safety, and so maybe walls go up. And so these are the exact opposite things of what you want to accomplish after an intimate moment. So by focusing again on aftercare and easing into that, that's really where you're going to reap some of the rewards, and again, just build that level of connectedness between you and your partner. So let's define what actually aftercare looks like to avoid those sorts of situations. So aftercare does not have to be complicated. It could be just a gentle embrace. It could be some eye gazing afterwards, just you two cuddle together looking at each other. It could be some soft touches. It could be a gentle, quiet conversation. It could be even just silence, where you just lay there together in the dark, or whatever it may be. But again, it doesn't have to be complicated, but it's just about focusing and sort of allocating time just to be in each other's presence, just to enjoy the moment, just to kind of ruminate on what just happened. And again, you can do this through easy conversations, nothing completely complex, or again, just gentle touches, gentle eye contact. That's really all that aftercare needs to be. In fact, 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes, as long as you're investing time in that process, you're in great shape. So one of the easiest things you can do right now, obviously as a champion of guided audio intimacy, is if you're not in the habit of practicing aftercare, what I would suggest is find yourself a guided audio program that will allow you to make this part of your new process. So in fact, in Coelle, there is a aftercare specific session called Come Back to Me. And I would recommend, just when you're done having your intimate moment, maybe you did a guided audio session leading up to this, or maybe you didn't, just hit play, listen to a session like Come Back to Me. It'll allow you to have that 4 to 5 minutes, again, just to enjoy each other's presence. And so it's an easy practice, and it's a good way to get you into this rhythm of making sure that you're intentional and you're deliberate with aftercare, because again, we don't want to neglect it. And if you don't want to do a guided audio session like Come Back to Me, then here's my challenge for you. The next time you're intimate, then do this one simple thing. be intentional about aftercare, and all you need to do is just allocate 1 minute just to enjoy that moment afterwards. And what I want you to do is just be in each other's presence, focus on your breathing, maybe breathe together if you can, have some eye contact, and just sit in that moment. And if you feel inclined, ask one simple question. What do you feel right now? And if you can exchange that back and forth and have a small conversation around it, that's all you need to do. And by doing this one simple thing, congratulations, you're actually incorporating aftercare into your intimate life. All right, let's go and wrap this up. So my final thought for you today is that great intimacy isn't just about what turns you on, it's about how you come back down together. And so if you can be deliberate about practicing aftercare, you're gonna be in great shape, because you're gonna be good on the front end, obviously with the intimacy part, but you're also gonna be on the back end with how you sort of, again, come back together. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I always appreciate the support. And remember this, intimacy isn't automatic, it's guided.